episode 74 of the Zeens and Roger Crochet Vlogcast. I am Rosina, I'm a crochet designer and all-round crochet enthusiast, and I am recording from my bedroom somewhere in Devon on a cold but sunny day. How are you? You alright? I've been better. It's a bit crummy, isn't it? I'm starting to get really peeved now. And it's been actually, not too bad, I have to say. But even, even the most stoic of people, I think, at some point are going to have flat days. And I've had a few of those in the last few weeks. But funnily enough, going to work cheers me up so I can escape the house. That's quite good. And crochet helps me stay sane. And the last couple of weeks I've done quite a bit actually, and a bit of knitting. I won't talk about the knitting today because it just looks like a little rectangle of knitting. It's not that exciting, but crochet wise I've got a few things to share. Some wool. It was my birthday last Monday, so I've got some birthday related treats, and I may as well get started. I have a cup of tea. I hope you've got a tea, drinky, alternative to tea, whatever. If you've got your beverage of choice and your craft of choice. Right, let's kick off. I'll rattle through a few things without really talking about them, and then I'll save, let's just see what happens. Some of them don't deserve much screen time really, because I've shown this before many weeks ago, and it's not like I've added loads on, just sort of, I don't know, maybe 10 extra squares. It was going to be big. It was going to be almost a double bed size, and I wasn't going to keep it, but I was going to give it away probably. Well, I was going to give it away if I wasn't going to keep it. But I've changed my mind. I don't want it to be a double bed size anymore. It's just going to be like a lap blanket, and I probably still won't keep it because I've got enough blankets at home and I'm not in love with it enough to want to keep it, even though it's quite fun. But it's just sort of like a basic granny, but it's got a circle in the middle rather than a square, and it's a stash bust with DK acrylic. So there's not much else I really ought to say about that because it's not very exciting. It's just one of those things, sort of like when I don't want to do anything else, I'll just sort of work on that of an evening or something. I don't like the hook I'm using with it, so that's another project where the hook makes all the difference. If the squares are a lot. It's a wooden hook that I bought, that's a Leica hook, however you pronounce that brand. And I don't like it because it's too lightweight, and I can't work with it fast enough. It's amazing the difference a hook makes to speed and tension. And so that's one of the reasons why that's not bigger than it could be. So I did a bit of that anyway, and then I finished this little diddy blanket. It's Painting the Woods, and it is a smaller version of a blanket that is in the book I reviewed. Or I didn't review it on here properly, did I? I reviewed it on Instagram last week. It's a crochet blanket book. I'll put the link in the show notes. So you can go and have a look, because you can buy it from Amazon now, but there's loads of different blanket patterns in there. So if you're a fan of blankets, it's well worth having a look at a blanket pattern book. It's funny because I'm sure I said last episode, or the episode before as I was making it, can't remember what it was now, that I thought it might make a nice blanket for my son's pandas. And I didn't even say anything, and he went, can I have it for my pandas? So isn't that marvellous? So his pandas have a blanket, not that he's using it for that, it's just sort of been dumped on the back of a chair, so but it's just like, rather than make the big giant blanket, it was part of a book tour I was on for Instagram, and we were asked to make one of the blankets, but we were told it didn't have to be a full size blanket, we could just do sort of like a sample. I'm sure I've told you this before, so I won't go over it again. But that's a finished object. Yeah, I'm not really with it today, sorry. Let's try and relax a little bit more. I feel rushed. I've been rushing all day, not least because I was doing things that I hadn't actually intended to do, and it just sort of happened, and I had to make it my priority because it was about my kids, and I'm sort of like, on my days when I'm not working, I am supposed to be homeschooling them badly, and today is one of those days. And so this morning I thought we would do some cross stitch. That's my idea of homeschooling, is basically crafts. And so what I asked them to do was, I went to Aldi a few weeks ago, and they had this Ada, is it called Ada? Cross stitch fabric, and they had some of that going in Aldi, so I bought a packet, and I wish I'd bought more because I've used it all now. They were also selling embroidery hoops, so I bought a packet of embroidery hoops. Anyway, rather than just doing some plain old boring cross stitch, I got the boys to get the paints out, and I asked them to paint. We put them in the canvas in the hoops, and then I got them to paint some acrylic onto the canvas. So these are some I did. Just plain, but I wish I had more, so I could just like go crazy with the colour. So we painted those on, and then we did some cross stitch. Eldest boy only managed this much cross stitch on his. It's a tree trunk. He was going to cross stitch a tree, but he got moody because the thread kept coming off the needle, even though I told him to grasp whatever. So anyway, he didn't get far, but I think if he just has a break and comes back to it, he could finish it and it would be awesome. So that's boy number one's efforts. And you know, the painting bit they loved, and we did painting yesterday as well. They're really getting into it, and they're getting really good. Boy number two, he wanted to do something panda related, Kel Surprise. That was a bit Trotteresque then, wasn't it? And so we've got this little guy. He's so cute. So he painted green splodges for bamboo. They represent bamboo. And then we did a panda, and I directed him to stitch fiddle, and he drew this panda on stitch fiddle, and then I used that grid to come up with this little guy. I'm really pleased. I did most of that cross stitch, but he did do a couple of rows, and he got really into it, and he's only 7, but I was really proud of him for sort of sticking at it and enjoying it. And that is, I know it's not perfectly centred because I just eyeballed it and don't care. But I think I want to keep it for myself. I might have it on my, I'm just shoving it, you can't see, I'm just shoving it on my bookshelf here. And yes, I might keep it for myself because it's cute. I also did one, and here's my effort. And I don't know what else to do. I've got one other idea actually, to do a cross stitch, which I might attempt tonight when the kids are in bed. but I like the idea of the crochet symbols on it. But I don't know if that's, like, this might be a reject, because I just started adding them and I didn't really have a plan of a design or anything, and so I just started putting trebles in, US DCs that is, and then I did a chain stitch. I don't know what else to do. I really like it. I think it could look really good, but I was sort of just ambling and making it up as I went along without any real plan. If I had a plan, that could be awesome. I'm also, yeah, what do you reckon? I'm quite pleased about that. I think it looks good, but it's not good enough. I also am not sure of the colours. They're not me. I think they look amazing. I think they're gorgeous. I love them, but I'm not sure they're, like, if I was to put it up on the wall in here, that's a tealy colour. I don't know if it would go. Or maybe it would. But I also, as I did them, I also thought they're not me, they're somebody else. And I know who they are. There's an Instagrammer, I think her real name is, I'm just going to check, because I think I know it, but I'm also doubting myself. I don't even know how to pronounce the name of the Instagram account, but I've always called it Zenome. Z-I-N-O-M-E shop, Zenome shop, Laura Jane. They're her colours through and through. I wonder if you would see that. And so it kind of felt a little bit like stealing. And I don't like that. I need to find my own palette. I mean, it sort of just happened accidentally. I still would like it to be my own and not remind me of somebody else, if you know what I mean. So I might sort of, I'll keep it probably, or give it away or whatever. I won't chuck it in the bin. But I want to play and experiment a bit more. So much so I've ordered more Ada and more hoops off Amazon with some birthday gift vouchers that I had. So dead pleased with those, dead pleased. And I brought them upstairs in my new bag, one of my new bags, and that is this bag. And I talked about this last episode. It was not a bag, it was a rectangle. I could write a blog post about this, but I haven't, and I won't anytime soon because I've got to go to work tomorrow and and Thursday and Friday. And then on Saturday I definitely said I was going to do something. I don't know. So I may or may not get around to it, but I probably won't, to be fair, given the mood I'm in at the minute, given the amount of stuff I've got to do. It's not going to happen. So sorry, but basically it's a chevron and you work it into a rectangle, you stitch it together somewhere. I can't find where I stitched it. It's that good. I think I did it with green. I remember doing it with green. Like it, I don't think I joined it there. Or did I? I might have joined it between the green and the mustard. But if you just stitch that together with the needle and the yarn, it really does blend in, so much so that I can't bloody remember. Sorry, excuse my language. I don't remember. I think it's that one, but I'm just that good, I can't tell. So stitch it together to join, and then in the bottom, oh, I was going to reveal, I've lined it so you can't see, but I just, on the inside, I think I crocheted the bottom together rather than sewed. Can't remember. Those stitches aren't so pretty, but never mind. Doesn't matter. Nobody really stares at a bottom that much, do they? And then around the top, 2 rows of single crochet, and then I whacked on some handles, and that is that. However, I also lined it. It's got interfacing and fabric lining and a magnetic clasp, which is dead easy to plop in, but I was a bit lazy and I didn't double line it. And so if I double lined it, I could have done one set of lining and stitched the handles to that, then put in a second pocket of lining and top stitched it and attached it to the bag, and then you wouldn't see the doings of the handles on the inside. I don't care particularly because nobody's going to be looking inside the bag. If I was making it like to a professional high standard, then that's exactly what I would do. I wouldn't want to give that to somebody else and have that there. But for the sake of just sort of making a bag just because I wanted to, I'm not that fast. So yeah, and I had lots of people on Instagram ask me where I got the handles from. They are cheap handles and they're from Amazon, and they're about £3, £3.50. You can get different colours. You can get one long strap as opposed to 2 handles. You can get lots of different things. If you just like type in bag handles or something into Amazon, it pops up. I remember like that it was so cheap. It's the last pair of double handles I've got, but I don't need any bags, so it's not like I need any handles. So I don't need any more bags. I am a bag lady through and through. I don't need that bag. It will go in a cupboard and I won't use it, apart from for photo opportunities, which is a bit rubbish of me really. Yeah. Oh, I could give it to somebody as a present, but again, it's not good enough, so I won't. It doesn't want to be talked about anymore, which is fair dues. Right, where are we? Where are we? I've got quite a few whips and a couple of... Have I got one more finished object? I've got one more finished object, and I've got 2 or 3 more works in progress and some stuff I got crafty for my birthday. I also won a competition. I won a giveaway, not a competition, on Instagram, and it is from Louisa at the Fibre Lounge, and I won one of her. Oh, I won one of her t-shirts. It's good, isn't it? I feel proper grunge today. Like proper 90s mom jeans. They're not mum jeans, they're mom jeans. Obviously my American accent is terrible. So I feel like it's probably 1994 and I'm 15. This is essentially what I would have worn. I don't know if I would have done my hair this way then. Probably would have just been down and like, and I'd looked all depressed and miserable. I don't really, well, I've talked about lockdown hair in the last 2 episodes. I'm not going to talk about it again, but I'm sorely tempted to chop in a fringe because my face shape does not lend itself well to long hair that's just like heavy weight. Oh, well, I might take it out actually because it's starting to fall down anyway. So, digression. The t-shirt, yeah, Louisa's doing t-shirts to raise money for Women's Aid. I think she might have sold out though. But also it's part of, I think is it the logo for Fibre Rocks, which was going to be a festival next month, but unfortunately due to COVID it's been cancelled, because COVID cancels everything. Fibre Rocks. Oh, spell it right, woman. Fibre Rocks. It's Rocks Fibre on Insta, and it is indeed the logo for the festival. I'm really excited to run it because I literally, you know, all those giveaways they do on Instagram. Have you ever won one? Like, wow. I remember winning one about 5 years ago. I won some felt to do some sort of felt embroidery with, which is beautiful, and I actually made stuff with it. But that was about 5 years ago, and ever since then I've not won a single giveaway. But yes, this is, so it's essentialable. That's not even a word. Essentially, for every t-shirt sold, £2.50 goes towards Women's Aid. But like I said, I think Louisa may have sold out. But do follow Louisa on Instagram because she is a fantastic crochet ambassador and a pretty awesome ambassador for mental health as well. So that's the Fibre Lounge. Oh, I should start writing some stuff down. Oh, I'll rewatch it and I'll write it all down, and then you'll know where to go to find out where you can get cool t-shirts like this. Lots of different colours as well. I wonder if she'll start doing bags. I don't need another bag, I know, but still. Anyway, so I won that, which is awesome. I'm really pleased with it. I really like it. It's almost like exactly what I needed, just like a nice little pick-me-up arriving. It arrived sort of like just at the right time really to make me feel a bit cheerful, so that was good. Also, for my birthday, I asked for this. I'm not going to put my tea on my bed because that's stupid. I should put it on my shelf. This is, my sister sort of said, what do you want for your birthday? And I essentially sent her a link to this bag. Craft Slut. It's a good word, isn't it? I really like that word, and I'm happy to embrace it fully. This is my status. This is what I am. A craft slut. Awesome. Proper neon pink. This is from Fickle Craft Room. It's proper durable, good, sturdy canvas bag, and it's even got a toggle so you can tie it up. Very happy about that. And Fickle Craft Room, Liz I think it is, has a birthday the day after mine, so that was quite nice. Lots of birthday celebrations and whatnot. Very happy about that. But yeah, I wanted this loads, and then in my parcel I also got a pin as well, a Craft Slut. You can't just go slut, you have to say slut. You have to put the T in especially. Craft Slut. Oh no, maybe not. Anyway, I got a pin as well, and that's from Liz. She sent that in addition to the bag, and I'm well happy because I really wanted that as well, but I didn't feel like I could ask for both. That was being greedy. So it's gone on my little bag with my favourite pins on it. I don't know if you can see, but I stuck on the Fibre Rocks pin as well, little button badge. Very pleased with that. And then on my birthday I was made to do a treasure hunt. I was a bit grumpy. It was really early in the morning, but the day before I'd been sent out for a walk and told not to come back for an hour and a half, and I was like, fine by me. And God, I sound like such a misery gut, honestly. And so there was a treasure hunt, and I was sent all around the house, all around the garden, all around the front garden as well. In my car boot, in a car bonnet. I had to like go underneath the bonnet. What's it called in America? The hood. Just in case you don't know what a bonnet is. And the boot is the trunk. So there was a parcel hidden in the boot of my car. Underneath the bonnet of his car there was a parcel hidden in there, in a shed, in the garden beds, in cupboards, inside a grandfather clock, hidden behind a pendulum. And it makes it sound like a grand... Oh, the lights all of a sudden just gone... I inherited a grandmother clock, it is actually technically known as, because it's had its bottom lopped off. But it was my Auntie Alma's, and when she died I asked if I could have it, and yes was the answer. We don't... this is not the house for a grandfather or grandmother clock, but anyway. So yes, essentially, like, loads of parcels were hidden everywhere. Inside each parcel was a ball of wool and a packet of crisps. All square salt and vinegar, because they're like one of the top 3 best crisps. Salt and vinegar squares, pickled onion Monster Munch, and vying, I think 3rd place could well be salt and vinegar McCoys. But they give you the vinegar sweats because they're so full on, which is like obviously bonus points, but there may well be other crisps that would pip them to the third place slot. Not sure. So amongst the parcel was some Noro yarn, which I've never had Noro before. Not Noro yarn anyway. 2 different shades of green. I'm not sure what to do with it. This one's a very nice green. It's 45% silk and 45% mohair and 10% wool. If I was ever going to make a virus shawl, and I said this on Instagram, if I was ever going to make, and I probably said it years ago as well when I first heard of Noro, I was like, oh, you could make the virus shawl with that. Because I thought it was very funny. That's the only time I'd ever make a virus shawl was with Noro, just so I could have a Noro virus shawl. But other than that, and I don't like the virus shawl, so I'm not going to do that probably. And I don't know what to do with that. Not got a clue, don't know. I also got, and it is falling apart a little bit, sort of been jostled about in too much probably. This is Stylecraft Natural Bamboo and Cotton, and I got 2 balls of this pink, 2 balls of this green, and I think 3 of the grey. And I think I find cotton really heavy. I don't like it for blankets, and I recently made a cotton blanket which you will see maybe in about 6 weeks time, and I didn't like the weight of it. The blanket was so heavy because it's cotton, and that's what puts me off making clothes with it. If I were to make myself a top or something, it would be too heavy. So I'm just thinking like I would make a bag or 3. I'm not sure what to do with that. Nice colours though. It is cotton and bamboo. I think it might be a new one, although I'm not sure. And then finally I also got 5 balls of this. This is Louisa Harding yarns. It's called Patura Superwash Fine Merino with Bamboo. There's a theme, I think. That doesn't have bamboo in it, does it? No, I think they were drawn to bamboo because of the kid with the panda obsession. But this is like the exact opposite of the yarn I like. This is old lady yarn and I don't like it. I don't like that either. So I'm really hard to please, really hard to please. But occasionally I get a humdinger of a present that makes me think, yes, this is perfect. This isn't it. Can't win them all, hey? And like, if you don't like something, do you say? Or do you politely go, oh, thank you so much? And then and then in your head you're like, oh, that's a really nice, thoughtful gesture because they know I like wool. Or you're like, I wish they'd got me something different. Are you an ungrateful, are you an ingrate? Or are you a nice person? Which is it? Turns out I'm an ingrate. But most people that know me know that. How do you learn to be nice? How do you learn to be a nice person? I'm not sure. I don't know how it works. So what to do with this? It's just like, basically it's pale and pasty, it's colour changing, it's wishy-washy. I like bold colours, I like solid colours, or hand-dyed beauties. I might give that away. Or you never know, keep it in stash long enough and you may sort of go, I know what I'll use it for. And actually then you'll learn that lesson of humility, being humble, being nice, being decent human. Maybe one day it'll come. Should I go and get Mum? It's not actually that hot. The sun's out, but no, it'll put me off my dinner. Do you know what, the kids, they never often ask for an ice cream when the ice cream man comes around. I'm amazed. I used to be obsessed with the ice cream van man when I was a kid. But I think this will be like, I'm going to walk around town with that. Own it. Right. See what I mean about, like, I need to have something here. I look too 90s. I mean, I know the 90s are sort of still in at the minute, but get this sort of dragging a bit weighty. Stop talking about lockdown hair. Boring and repetitive. Stop it. 1, 2, right. This is pretty much a finished object, but I haven't sewn in ends. Purely because I was tempted to frog it. It's hours of work though. But my cowl is finished. But it just looks like a Neapolitan ice cream and I can't see beyond it, and actually I think it's too busy. It's too much having all those different stitches together, so that it's basically a bit fugly. I like all the stitches individually, but do I like them together? It's a very expensive project if you add up these yarns, and if I don't like it, is that really a sensible thing? It's a cowl, an infinity scarf, and you've got 3 different stitches, and then because I was just like, ugh, I don't like it, I added on just a tiny trim of grey on there, but it hasn't done enough to make me like it. The only thing I can do to sort of maybe convince myself is when it's on it actually looks better, which is like when you want it to look at its best. This is when it sort of comes into its own, but still I think it's too busy. I don't like it. So many hours work. And I must have known really, because when I was doing it I couldn't be bothered to write it down. So I'm just going to blow my nose. So what do you reckon? It's not me, is it? Pissed off. I'm really annoyed. Because when you get an idea in your head and you think, yes, and then you do it and you go, no. It's just really disappointing. Oh, somebody's just bought an ice cream. My face says it all, doesn't it? I think it's a no-go. So, back to the drawing board with that one. I think I might have to keep it simple. Part of my problem is I get carried away, I want to try new things. I mean, I know I like to stick to my classics as well, but sometimes what happens is I stick to those classics and then I get fed up of them and then I go completely in the opposite direction rather than just sort of taking it easy. This is going to be an absolute nightmare to frog because it is floof. This, I love this middle stitch. I really like it. I probably showed it off a few weeks ago. I don't know what it's called other than I'm thinking about calling it Nana Jumper Stitch because it looks like the jumpers my nana used to knit and I really like it. And then this is Houndstooth, which is one of my faves. That's Spectrum Fibre. I can't remember what it's called. I think the colour is Blush. It's called like Wiggle or something like that because it is a wiggly wobbly yarn. This is a sock yarn from Ching Fibre. It's a gorgeous minty green, really nice. And I did mention last time that it reminded me of mint choc chip ice cream, so maybe I should go buy myself a mint choc chip. Oh, a mint choc chip feast. I bet they've got one of them. I think it is. He's not there anymore. And then the knitting shed is that brown one, which I really like. It's a high twist. And then the blue is I think it's Somerset yarn, which I like Somerset yarns yarn. And then that grey is a Folkestone Harbour grey, which was just like a 10-gram mini. So the 10-gram mini went all the way around. That's just a single crochet, I think. So it's gone all the way around there, and I've got that much left from sort of 10 grams. And all the rest are less than 50, I think. I'm going to sulk about that one for a little bit, and then I think I might just brave it and rip it out and try again. Like that grey was an afterthought, so I could have, if I'd done it properly, I would have started with that, because then I did the pink, the green, and then that. Maybe it needs another row of different. No, it doesn't need another different row of stitches. Shut up. Some things work, some things don't. You just sort of have to go with it. I've got that fluff in my eye now. And speaking of which, in this bag, which I made ages ago, it's a very nice little project bag. So you may recall that I had like a Zeens collection, and I've banged on about it before quite a lot probably. I've done, I think the Emergence of Spring was the first one that I did maybe 2 years ago. Which was a rectangle filet crochet wrap, and then I did Harvest Moon, which was a crescent shawl with a filet edging, and then I did Waking Winter, which I released probably 1.5 years ago. So I've just found a ball of wool that's all untangled, and then I did Waking Winter, which I think's down there, and that left Summer, which I should have released last summer, but I didn't make it, I didn't design it. I wasn't feeling it. And then sort of I had the inspiration and it hit, and I was like, yep, I know what to do. I think over the last couple of years I'd had lots of different ideas about what I could do and never really stuck to anything. And I think sometimes you wait too long for the right idea to come and then it's just not going to. So you just have to go for it and try something rather than wait for that eureka moment that's probably not actually gonna come. So I just started making something. I was just like, yeah, this is gonna work. This is what I want. I knew I wanted it to be a triangle shawl. But yeah, other than that, I didn't have much of an idea. I didn't even know if it was going to be top down or sideways. Seeing as I've already got a top down shawl in the Seasons collection, I probably should have done a sideways one, and I still could, because I still could, because I haven't actually started on the final thing. I could. Anywho, so ages ago, I think like a couple of months ago, I started this. It was my peach one. This is Cascade Yarns Heritage. That, and I made this, and whilst I like it, it was just saying, you're turning into an old lady, stop it. And I was just like, not feeling it, and it wasn't summery enough. Although holding it up to the screen now, I'm like, oh, it's not too bad actually. I may yet do something with that, because then I decided I didn't like this peachy colour. It was too kind of sort of artificial. I didn't like it, and so I've got 2 skeins of that, and technically I could finish that as a shawl, and it's just a shawl on its own, not part of the Seasons collection, okay? Oh, I look like Dave Grohl. Is that what he's called? Anyway. I just said a rude word and I'm going to have to remember to edit it out. Right, so consider it abandoned for now. And then I went, don't like the colour, and it's not saying summer to me. What says summer? Flowers. And I'll go with something floral. And so I started on this. Because you've got yourself some lovely flowers. And again, like a couple of days ago, I looked at it and I just went, why are you making old lady crochet? Stop it. You're supposed to be a modern contemporary designer that I always say showcases, that showcases crochet in a new light and makes people see it in a new and exciting way. Stop being an old woman. And I threw a massive strop about it as well. That was like 2 days ago. I was really, really annoyed. Everybody knew it as well. I mean, don't get me wrong. It probably would be really nice in a shawl, but it's just not me. And it is old-fashioned, and it isn't anything new and interesting. It's just bland and disappointing, really. God. And then I released summer. Look at this, how amazing. I'm so pleased with it. And you're just like, you chose that. Oh, but those beautiful stitches, are you mad? I don't have a new thing to show you because I've only done that of a new design. But what I'm doing is going back to the Seasons collection. I'm going back to what connects them, and that's essentially some of the stitches in there and the stitch pattern that I used in sort of made up because otherwise it's just another crochet shawl in a sea of crochet shawls, and I want it to be a bit different. So I was making it again. You can see I've started top down, but actually I might, you probably can't even see it very well, but I could try side to side. The only thing about side to side is that it doesn't create a deep V a deep triangle. But for the summer, maybe that's a good thing, because maybe you don't need to be completely enveloped in wool in the summer months. Maybe just a sort of gesture of a shawl is what's needed. So it's a work in progress, very much, and it's at times like that you just think, why am I so rubbish? Why can I not get it? Why am I not moving forward? Why am I not good at this yet? But some things just don't translate, and that's okay. But yeah, at the time you don't see it that way. So maybe I just need to step away from it just for a few days and come back to it. So that's going to get frogged because I need that to be part of that, to be part of the new one. So I need them. I need to get rid of this. Where am I? What have I got? I've got one more work in progress. I think quite possibly I'm saving the best till last. Something that I am pleased with, and something that isn't a complete disaster. And it's not even one of my designs. Maybe that's why. Maybe I'm trying too hard and just need to chill out and enjoy it, not put so much pressure on myself. Yes. Right, I won't do that now because that'll just take. Please don't agree with me about the Dave Grohl thing. Yeah, you do. Because that'll make me feel sad. Don't want you to do that. I bought Pom Pom. This is issue winter. The winter issue 2019. So I'm making this, which is the Acre Pullover, which you've probably heard of by now, because a few people are making the Acre Pullover as part of a May cowl. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. It's 7 pages of pattern, which is quite a lot. It doesn't have the stitch count for the rows, and it doesn't number all the rows. It says things like increase row, next row, next row, next row, neckline decreases, next row, next row, next row, neckline increases, next row, note. Oh my god, and this really got my goat. So next row, next row, next row, do this, blah de blah de blah. Then it says note. Last 2 rows set diagonal colour change pattern. So could you not have told me 2 rows before so that I didn't do the 2 rows, then read the note? I know you're supposed to read a pattern first before you embark on the project, but how the blazes am I meant to remember when there's 7 frickin' pages? I got cross. There's a theme, isn't there, going on? Must have some anger management issues, perhaps. Why say, and the last 2 rows do this? Why not say, note, the next 2 rows you begin the colour changes? And then, yeah, I know a couple of other people that are making it. Well, I know lots of people that are making it, but I know at least 2 people have actually created spreadsheets so that they have the row numbers and they have the stitch counts for each row. So they've had to sort of buy the magazine and then go and do a load of hard graft to get the pattern that they should have had in the first place. So I'm just sort of writing in the margins, the rows, and I'm writing like, it will say work these rows X amount of times. So I'm just sort of, just like teeny tiny, just writing So that's row 8, 9, 10 is it, and then on 11 I do the increase, and then 12, 13, 14, and then 15 I do another increase. So I'm writing little notes in the margin rather than doing a spreadsheet or whatever. You need to probably be a confident crocheter to follow this pattern. Having said that, I'm not exactly very far ahead. Also, I may struggle, I may not. I don't know how it's going to fare, but I think probably what I should do is always sort of read a few rows ahead each time, just to remind myself. This is it's going to be a lot of stretch in this, so it's okay. It looks a bit short at the moment. That is the back, but it's going to sit this way. But that'll block bigger. So I've only done a few rows. It's beautifully textural, really nice. A really beautiful stitch. It's half trebles and you work into the third loop only. Yeah, I haven't done very much, have I? They're very small stitches, in my defence. And also I did frog it once because, yeah, because of I went ahead without changing colour because I didn't read the notes until after, because they're not set out until after. So I've still got, like, yeah, there's quite a few pages to go, but that's okay. And then I'm a bit worried as well that I will run out of this colour and I may need to buy another skein, but I might make some adaptations and try and work my way around it. I'm just going to wait until I get to that point where I start worrying about how much yarn I have, and then sort it out should I need to. But I mean, seeing as I am not very far ahead, who knows what's going to happen. That might, I think that cowl runs until mid-June. I may still be making it in mid-June. It's not going to fly off the hook, I don't think. I think I'd better go. Don't forget to thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, then do that. If you would like to support me on Patreon, you can do so. I don't have tiers, it's just pay whatever you can. And I'm trying to, at least once a month, do something extra on Patreon for those that are in the Patreon community, whether it's a free pattern or sort of heavy discounts or something else. Maybe I should do like an extra video or something. It's just churning away the idea of that, but I don't know what themes and what ideas I could do for little extra videos, but that might become a thing for Patreon. Anyway, yes, so hope you're alright, probably faring better than me. I'll try and come by next in a fortnight, but I'm like, I booked some annual leave off work, and I might time it so that I have an extra week or two off and have a mini breakdown. Yeah. I'll see you again probably in 2 weeks. I won't have my holiday just yet. Thank you so much for joining me. Cheerio. Bye bye.